What is this noise?
This noise is the army saying, don't come out, stay in your house. Because the monsters that go on your hands, remember the monsters on your hands? Yeah?
I can't hear it. Let's go here. Let's go hear it outside.
We're not allowed outside.
Assalamu alaikum guys, Keefcom. I hope that you're all well and safe and dry and inside your homes. So I've lost count of which day we're on, but we're on lockdown in Jordan, and some people weren't taking it very seriously, particularly in Irbid, which is in the north of the country, and there were still people going about business as usual with their weddings and their events and their all their different things. So and because there was a big spike in the amount of corona cases we've got in Jordan, the government, the military, the king decided that we're going to go on complete lockdown, curfew. It was announced sometime in the late afternoon yesterday that as of 7 a.m. this morning, Saturday, the 21st of March, that no one will be able to leave their houses. You have to stay inside your house. You can't go out for a walk. You can't go out to do anything, and that includes the restaurants. That includes all the services that we've all been relying on, all the delivery services. Everything is shut. So if you failed to get food during this period, sucks to be you. It's really it was a bit sudden, to be honest, a bit shocking. So what happened this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, we had sirens going off. If you've watched my previous videos, I've made jokes about how when I first came to Jordan, I thought that the gas truck deliveries and the vegetable delivery trucks were bomb sirens because I didn't know any better. Now I know what a real bomb siren sounds like. It's a bit scary. Adham thought it was the coolest thing ever. He thought it was so exciting. He kept saying, let's go outside. And I was telling him, we can't go outside. That's to tell us not to go outside. We're not allowed to. When he said, why? I said, because if mummy goes outside, the army's going to take her away. He goes, hate the army. So now I spent the rest of the day trying to convince him that it's not the worst thing in the world and that we actually really do love the army and the police. Anyway, so the curfew came in at 7 this morning, and that means that if you are found in the streets, then you can be put into prison for up to 1 year. And what's the time now? It's 4 p.m. and it came in at 7 a.m. and already there are 392 people have been arrested for violating curfew. So the people that are allowed to go out still are obviously the army and police personnel, hospital staff, relevant hospital staff. Some news broadcasters are allowed to, but just generally the whole country's on lockdown. It's eerily quiet outside. It's amazing. I mean, you can hear all the birds. You can hear yourself think. It's amazing. It's really amazing. So yesterday, Friday, was the first Friday in, someone said 1,000 years, other people have said different things, but first Friday in a long time that Friday prayer didn't happen, which is quite a shocking thing to tune into the TV for Friday prayer and to see there were just a handful of people with the sheikh doing Friday prayer. Everyone stayed home to do it. It's very, it's eerie. And when they do the adhan, when they do the call to prayer, they say to you, usually in the call to prayer, they say, come pray. And now they're saying, stay at home and pray. It's just a weird vibe to be in. And actually earlier, I really wanted to put my laundry out. So I went out into my yard to hang up my laundry, and I felt like I was doing something really wrong, and I rushed back in. I didn't even finish doing it all. I'm just going to leave it out there. It's basically drizzling anyway. But you feel like the presence of the military, and I keep hearing these vehicles, big vehicles kind of going up and down because people weren't taking it seriously in the beginning. So you hear these big vehicles going up and down, and I can't see the road, so my imagination is oh, it's a big tank And they're like, the army's making sure that you're staying inside the house. But alhamdulillah, most areas, I think people don't really want to be going out anyway. Karak has got, like, they had major snow in the night. They're all like, it's like pictures from Karak are like all snowy scenes. Although it is Karak as well that had a lot of people not abiding by the curfew. So I don't know what that's about. Although gas people, so people keep asking me like what are the exceptions and things. So you will hear the gas trucks going around with their tinkling music because they're still allowed to deliver gas. So that's the only movement that I've heard today is people taking gas canisters in and out of their houses. So after we got these messages to say there's going to be a curfew, the country went mad and everyone rushed outside to go and get emergency supplies, and I'm sure that was the most panic buying that we have seen so far. And I'm not really convinced that sending everybody out at once to do all their shopping as quickly as possible and be like in a really packed small environment was necessarily what they were hoping for, or what, like, maybe that was like a misjudgment or something. I'm not really sure, but it didn't feel like the sensiblest thing to do. I sent my husband out to get like just a few extra of the fresh things that go off really easily, like tomatoes and mint and bagdunis and things. And he couldn't find anything. He came back with these mouldy old tomatoes. Couldn't find any carrots. He went to 3 or 4 different grocery shops. It was just the shelves were empty. It was just crazy. They didn't even bother trying to go to the bakery to get any bread. So I think there's been a bit of criticism about that, but at least people are obeying by it now, and people in the hospitals can get on with curing the patients that they've got and dealing with this as much as possible. And during this period as well, people have been out sterilising everything, cleaning everything to make sure that it is as clean as possible for when we are released from our jails. So yes, yesterday as well, the new figures were released about how many people we have with corona in Jordan, and the number has risen by 15. It's 84. Today, obviously, by the time I put this video out, fingers crossed, the new numbers won't have come out yet. But we're at 84 now. There are 3 family members who had direct contact with their daughter. She had flown from Norway. She'd come to Jordan and she'd gone back to Norway, and she brought it with her. And she's actually in a critical condition, from what I understand, in Norway, and 3 of her family members have caught corona, but they seem to be in good health. There are 3 other people who had direct contact with people who were infected in Irbid. There are 2 people who came back from abroad, and they have been quarantined in Hamza Hospital, Prince Hamza Hospital. 3 other people who had direct contact with an infected citizen. It's not much information here. I'm copying it directly off Roya news website. And then 3 other people have returned to Jordan from the UK, Egypt, and the Netherlands. And there's 1 person who has got corona and they don't know why he's got it. That makes me nervous. But alhamdulillah, they're taking it really seriously, and I'm hoping that this curfew, however uncomfortable it feels, I also feel quite protected, and I feel quite looked after and taken care of. I mean, the UK has got a ridiculous amount of deaths compared to cases, and you know, they've only just decided to shut the restaurants and bars and things, so I feel like we're being really stringent and really tough with this, but I feel like that's just what we need to do. I just want to say something that's completely off topic, or not completely, but I have been watching a lot of news, obviously, like everybody else has, and I've been paying attention to the news. That's probably the difference, is that I've been making my husband translate every single thing that we watch. And I've discovered that the ministers in Jordan, like the politicians and ministers and like all of those figures, all of the high up figures, they've got they're really personable. They've got really nice personalities, or even if maybe they haven't got a nice personality, they have a personality, which I'm not super used to with politicians and like public figures in that kind of in terms of governmental sense. You know, like, okay, so the Minister of Health, his name is Jabber. Something Jabber. I don't know. What is his name? Jordan Jabber. Okay, that was a stupid thing to search. Ah, Minister of Health. His name is Saad Jabber. Go watch my video about the 90 Days of Winter and the guy who's called Saad. Jabber said very famously a little while ago that the shmar is the best defense against corona in the very early stages, before we had it in Jordan, before we were really kind of really thinking about it. He said, like, oh yeah, just wear your shmar over your faces. And I thought that was the funniest thing. And then he got, like, the WHO really rebuked him and said, like, this is really wrong. And then I'll show you the clip. Then somebody asked him to apologise to the nation for saying that.
ما بده يعتذر وزير الصحة سعد جابر عن معلومة الشماغ المغلوطة. يعني أنا آسف يا ستي. أنا آسف يا ستي. أنا آسف يا ستي.
Anyway, I'll stop rambling. So I am going a bit stir crazy, I have to say. I usually get out for a walk once a day, and this is a bit hard on me. Let me know in the comments how you guys are coping, what you guys are up to, if you are killing each other yet, how many family arguments there's been. No, I'm sure that you're all having a really nice time and reconnecting with your family during this period. Eki alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Okay, that's my update. Ma salama, bye bye.